come on, Apple, I need that 16, let's go. And there's a lot of really cool, unique updates coming. Let's talk about that today.
This episode is brought to you by Social Genius. That's where Jeff and I get to actually teach you what to do on social and how to grow it. Jeff, why should people join?
You know, if you are the type of professional that wants to do it yourself, and maybe your budget's a little bit lighter and you can't afford to hire somebody to do all the editing, do the fancy stuff for you, we're going to teach you how to do all this stuff. And the truth is, most of these social platforms are now favoring authenticity. So it's shooting these green screens and doing remixes and understanding what's trending. Those are the things that matter the most to your social strategy. And so if you like to be inside of a tight culture of people that are like-minded and want to do it themselves, then Social Genius is perfect for you.
We'll see you there. You'll never find it for less than this anywhere else. It's very inexpensive. We'll see you on the other side.
Tristan, I still have an iPhone 13. And actually, let me digress. If you don't have an iPhone, you're basically an alien. Because today, we're going to talk about the new iPhone 16 that's coming out, which is very relevant to me because I've been holding out. I try to keep a phone for 2 to 3 years, Tristan, because that's about its shelf life. And then it starts to, lose memory and die quicker and act goofy. And that's where I'm at. And now I am sitting here at the edge of my chair saying, come on, Apple, I need that 16, let's go. And there's a lot of really cool, unique updates coming. Let's talk about that today.
There are, man. There are. And I know that people out there are like, Apple, I've got an Android. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. But
yes, there is.
We figured out early on that if you're in a business that requires some type of sales, you will have an advantage over everyone else if you are using an iPhone. There's two main reasons, and Munch, who's in the background, just figured out one of them. But the first one for us, Jeff, we get a lot of online leads, a lot of inquiries, and sometimes they only come with email. And as soon as you were able to connect your email as a form of texting in the Apple world with the blue bubble back in 2011, I believe, 2011-ish, we started using it immediately. So now every time we'd get incomplete information or just someone's email, and we're in the United States, so I just pop it into the text messaging, and now all of a sudden I could text people just with their email address. And for me, that's massively valuable because we know that people don't typically respond to emails. They are not going to pick up the phone, even though now I can FaceTime video them if I want, or FaceTime voice them with that email. But more importantly, I'm texting them. That is the number one way people will get back to you, outside of Messenger if they're already on the social platform. That's number one. Number two, what Apple has done so well that Android is still missing. Yes, Android tech is definitely advanced, but what they're missing is the simplicity of an all-in-one. If you're on a Mac, if you're on your laptop, that's a Mac. If you're on your phone, if you're on your iPad, all of a sudden you can do business from all of them easily. I can copy paste to one without having to download anything, without having to add anything else, and I can text from every single one. So in my house and in my offices, it's all Mac, and I've got a Mac connected. If I forgot it here, guess what? I could just jump in, continue my text with Jeff. That is the beauty of it. And so when you add and layer what we're about to talk about, I don't see how it doesn't become the ultimate business machine. And that's AI. I mean, dude, that's probably the one thing I'm most excited about for the iPhone. Yes, Samsung's going to get it. Yes, everyone else is going to get it. But the thing that makes Apple different is that it simplifies it for the consumer. It simplifies it for the business owner. And I don't know about you, but simplicity attracts. Don't you think?
Yeah, especially depending on the business you're in. And I realize that most of the people listening to this are real estate, mortgage, title, maybe. And this all applies. It's very applicable to you because the simplicity and efficiency of, actually, when you said that, it caught my attention because I never really thought of it that way. As a salesperson, if you're not a salesperson, then maybe this is less applicable to you. I never really did, though, Tristan, understand why people are so anti, like, it's weird, like, because we all have our Android friends. And I think I broadly can say that most of us, if I go out and pick out 50 of my acquaintances and friends, 75% are Apple users and the 25% are Android. Would that be a safe statement?
I would say you're about right in the U.S., right? U.S. Once you start getting out of the United States, then you start seeing more people. The majority have some type of an Android phone.
Got it. Which, I mean, I think for, again, most of you listening, you're in the U.S., so that's more applicable to you. So that's a really good reason. So, but I mean, it's like almost like it's like stubbornness. It's like, I don't like Apple for whatever, I don't know, maybe it's political, maybe it's religious, I don't know. So I won't use that phone, and I'm going to be, because that's all Android users are just as weird about their choice as us Apple users are about ours. And I never really understood that.
For me, it's an easy choice, man. Samsung and Android devices, they definitely have better tech. But the difference is Apple simplified it to be able to use it all together. And the operating system just can't be beat. Yeah, it's closed, but that's because Android screws it all up. So look at my screen right here. Jeff, I know you're watching. Everyone else is watching. We went to the Apple website under Apple Intelligence. And the very first thing you'll see at the very top, it says built into your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. So exactly what we're talking about. And you'll see here everywhere that you can use the ability to just bring on AI, whether it's to write something, to search for something, to text, to create notes, to absolutely do anything that you want with your phone. And for me, and for Jeff, and for all of you, the ability to now open up your phone and just ask it anything you want because it's integrated. Obviously, you've got to give it the permission, right? But the fact that it's integrated into everything we do, I don't know how that doesn't make it more powerful, man. How does this not make my phone, my business, and especially crappy ass Siri, which sucks? I hate Siri. How does it not make it even better now that it's open AI? That to me is the question. It's like, how will you be using this? Because that's what I want to know. How will you be using it? Because I might be learning from you. And for me, I'm opening up a whole new world. Now, everything in my phone that I hadn't, dude, how hard yesterday, I'm sitting on here and I know I'm doing this. I'm like, I know I met Seth Godin the first time and I'm like, it was 2016 and I'm trying to remember, right? And I can't remember. And so I'm scrolling through for about 15 minutes to find a damn picture. And I finally found it. Now I could just ask. Right now I can ask, but it sucks. And right now I can ask Siri questions or to type things, and then it sucks even worse. But now your whole phone is now changed. And the dynamic that you use your phone, what do they say about tools? The tools and the tech that you use define humanity, defines you. How will this define who we become? And to me, it just makes us more powerful. AI in as a whole will make us more powerful.
More efficient. I mean, well, go ahead. What was your question going to be?
No, my question was for you. Like, when you're thinking about AI now in your phone integrated to build, to talk, to email, to create images, all this stuff, what's the very first thing that you're thinking of as far as how will you be using it?
Well, the first thing I was going to say was that, here we are, are we a year and a half later? Or are we not even a year in? When was AI, when did ChatGPT come out? The November of what year? Was it 23 or was it 22?
For AI?
Yeah.
ChatGPT 2022, I think they released it in November.
So we're a year and a half in now.
Yeah.
And I thank you, CK. Here's my just very primitive take on AI's evolution. It started, it was such a hot topic and almost kind of controversial. And it's like, oh my God, this is going to ruin the world and blah, blah, blah. And now here we are a year and a half later, and I almost feel like it's not controversial anymore. It's so mainstream. All of the people that looked at it as controversial aren't even realizing that it's now built into a lot of the things you're already using. And this is such a great example of AI is going to take over whether you like it or not, unless you just choose not to have a cellular device, in which case you're probably living off the grid and none of this matters. I don't even know why you're listening to this if that's the case. But if you're not that person, I think this is such a great example, Tristan, of don't just sit back and wait for it to come to you, because that's what the vast majority of Americans will do. Be the person that takes the time to learn just a little bit and, learn how you can use this, because especially if you're in the real estate field, there are so many advantages that you can create for yourself, as Tristan just described with the communication tool. That's primitive and simple, but effective, right? And there's so much, there's going to be a lot of text AI that is going to be built into this new phone. So it's going to make you more articulate. But also don't rely so heavily on it that you're one of those people that goes from, you're not very articulate to like super articulate, because it's going to be very obvious that you didn't write it. So there's always that in between. But Tristan, I think people just need to take a look at this and go to this link. We can share it in the show notes, and go Google iPhone 16 AI features and research it, learn a little bit about it, so you know what's coming and how you can be using it. Because these tools, God, Tristan, there's going to be differentiators with clients that you're going to text them something that's AI driven and they're going to be blown away. And that's what's going to make them decide to work with you. And I can't stress this enough.
Here's what's happening that a lot of people that our two listeners don't know, but now you're going to know. Okay, you're going to know. Thank you for your two listeners. I don't know who you are. You should text us and let us know if you're listening to this.
Brian Quinlan's one of them. One of them, I think.
Brian,
challenge Brian. Text us if you listen to this.
Yeah. So listen to this, and this is something that a lot of people don't know. And I'm helping a few different companies in real estate to develop these things. Not me as a developer, just like process and ideas. The phone. Think of this as now AI being what apps were for all of those people that were developing now the apps. Without the phone, without the iPhone specifically, you wouldn't have the massive adoption of Facebook, Instagram, maybe YouTube, X, all of this world that we know as social media. The mass adoption then of TikTok was because it was simplified to an app, and then Android and everything else. But the creator of the app was the phone, and then the iPhone, and expanded it to everything else. Now bring in AI. AI now is that app again. And here's the piece that we're all missing. This phone now becomes Jarvis from Iron Man, from Tony Stark, because now the next piece that's being created is this. Hey, Siri, could you do me a favor? I have a meeting in about 30 minutes at 123 Main Street, and I need a listing presentation on that property. Can you do me a favor and grab all of the community insights and the data for all the property that is sold around the neighborhood and put that in about 8 or 9 pages, very concise, make it very personal. Hey, Siri, stop. Hey, Siri, stop. Oh, we go. Shit. Siri. Hey, Siri. You see how much shitty it sucks right now?
Hey, she's just trying to do her job.
No, I'm not. Stop.
It's pretty, we can barely hear it. We can barely hear it, but that's funny.
Well, I can hear it really clearly. So now it's working. Not only here's the thing, it's voice to voice. This is the simplification of AI, this next stage. I can talk to AI and it will understand what I need created, and it will create it. Now, the first iteration of it will be like, well, it won't do that well, right? It'll have to have templates that it'll choose off of. And then me, you, our team will have to go in and tweak it. But the ability to be able to do that by voice, dude, that's just simplified my whole world. Now I can create things. I can, dude, hey, I'm not going to say her name, but hey, device, create a website form, create a landing page. I just got this listing. The world's going to change. And this little device, because AI is being added, allows these other companies to come in and say, now I can build something on top of this. And because now it's on the phone, it changes humanity. And that's what we're not paying attention to. It's like, pay attention. Everyone's going to need a new phone too, because apparently the 15 Pro is the only one that's going to be able to, or higher, right? 15 Pro and 16, you said? What was it?
16 is what's coming, yeah. So anybody who's got pre-15 phones, you're pretty much going to have to upgrade.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people in my boat. Everybody who got the 13, it's like it's almost too soon to get. It's definitely too soon to get next year's, and it's typically too soon, especially if you put it in your bill, put the cost of the phone in your bill, which most people do. You're not due for an upgrade until 3 years later, but typically you need the upgrade 2 years later. So it basically, there's going to be a lot of people getting the 16. It's hopefully you're one of them.
Man, I'm excited about this. And for me, the AI is going to be the big differentiator. They're lowering the price. So for entry-level phones, are you excited about that? Or does that make a difference? What do you think overall?
I think it's also a testament to the evolution of technology. Things are, I think this is Apple's, if you want my conspiracy opinion, defense maneuver to keep people from going over to Android. Honestly, I think I don't know. I don't study this stuff. I'm an Apple user just because it's what I'm used to be honest with you. I'm really not that diehard. I tease Android users, but I don't really care that much. But I think that's the play. The same thing with that I said about Tesla and Elon. Look at the affordability of Teslas now. I firmly believe that was 1,000,000% strategic based upon every other car maker now getting into that space. And I think Apple's basically doing the same thing.
It's funny how you bring up Tesla, because I always think of the products that they both create are to me, in my head, are very similar. Like, they're innovative, they're sleek, they're simple to use, they're integrated among other things that are used within that same family. Here are some things that I'm reading through, so I'm just going to read these to you, of things that are going to come out on the new iPhone. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, I'm going to read them. Larger displays. So apparently this is going to be the option to get the biggest ever iPhones. Pretty crazy. All right, I don't know how much bigger. Vertical camera layout. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming the shape is going to be different on the back. Battery changes. Apparently larger batteries.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll believe that when I see it.
The thing is, they're going to need it, but because how many times are you going to be having AI use it, right? So it's going to drain your battery. Next one is a capture button, so new camera capabilities. I'm assuming you can take a picture quicker.
I think you don't. Yeah, I think it's easier. I think that's what I heard or read. Yep.
Okay, cool. Ultra wide lens upgrade.
Yep, I heard that. You don't need the attachments anymore. That's basically getting Android technology into the Apple.
Yep. All right, cool. I still don't think we'll catch up to Android tech, but something called super telephoto camera. I don't know what that is. Let's see. A super telephoto periscope camera for dramatically increased optical zoom. So I know that Android's got that already. At least the Samsung devices do. Cool. New A18 series chip. That's what allows the AI to function faster. What do we got? Anything else that I can understand? A lot of stuff that's just my upgraded microphone. I love that because you and I shoot all of our content with our iPhone, right?
Yeah, that would be nice if I don't have to always put a mic on, which you don't. Even with the 13, I don't. As long as you're in a controlled sound environment, you don't need a microphone. But it would be cool if we could be in a louder setting and be able to just shoot it without a microphone. That would be nice.
That's what actually I'm reading. It says it will be able to.
Mm.
That's awesome. Expanded storage and increased memory, so it'll function faster and you can save more on it. I don't know about you, but I do a lot of videos on these things, and I just leave them on there. I never delete them.
Dude,
So
I just had to upgrade to 6 terabytes in the cloud.
see, we should. So I think. Hold on, Jeff. I think you shoot way more video than I do.
Yeah, 2 terabytes isn't enough for me anymore. Isn't that crazy? And I
crap.
do delete videos. But Tristan, I shoot podcasts. I shoot long form videos on my. I mean, so I got.
Oh yeah, you shoot way more than I do, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny. Anyway, the new phone comes out first, second, third week. All right, it's announced like the second week of September. It comes out at the end of September. But then when you order, you probably won't get it until October, November. So we'll start seeing a lot of people with the phone probably November-ish. And they've got a whole bunch of different colors.
I think they come out late September. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's when. So they'll announce it like September 10, around there. And then you'll be able to order them. But, they always take a long time unless you're like the first 10.
Yeah.
And I always end up ordering it, but I don't get it till like December. It always pisses me off.
Yeah.
You always when you get a phone, you always get it before I do.
Well,
I bet they'll have it at your Apple store if you go.
yeah, maybe it's just an advantage of being in a more or less populated area,
What did CK say? He says the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro models will be released in September. All right, so there you go. The second week of September. That's where or September 10th.
Yeah.
Or that week.
Nailed it.
That week.
Yep.
Boom. Well, I'm excited about this. I think it will change the way we do business, only because voice to voice will change a lot. And I think, Jeff, if we're looking at businesses, I can't stop thinking about what Sam Altman said. He's a guy that runs OpenAI, ChatGPT. He says in the next, 10, 15 years, we're going to get the first one-person business that becomes $1 billion business. Just one person thanks to AI. And I think this takes us one step closer, because if I can dictate to computers what I want created, from a simple text to a very complicated coded website with landing pages that are automated, that create Facebook ads and then retargeting ads on Instagram, and then blogs, and then videos that are faceless, all with AI voice, just off of me telling it, that changes the world. And that's what I'm excited about.
Yep. I agree. So just one question. Are you going to get the iPhone 16 when it rolls out?
Listen.
Oh, I have one more thing to say. One more thing to say to wrap this thing up. Hey Siri, play Chocolate Starfish by Limp Bizkit.
I didn't hear you. Oh, thank goodness.
Do more on your phone.
I shut off all my hey, except for that one behind me.
Yeah. So now how many more people are going to go request to play Chocolate Starfish? If you do, I will warn you, I hope you're not easily offended. See you on the next one.
Bye, everyone.